All right. Welcome to the crossover presented by Crossroads Sports. Brandon Reeve, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, what do you think of the new intro, my man?
I mean, it's some serious high-tech stuff, man. I'm impressed.
Woohoo! We doing some work over here, getting some work done.
That's
I
what's
do
up.
want to thank the crew that did actually help me out with that online a couple weeks ago. So something extra, something new to bring into the crossover that we haven't had in the past. But tonight's show, John, is going to be kind of a we want to hear from our peeps, from our people.
Oh yeah.
We want to hear from them. I've got some topics we can talk about. We had our Crossroads Sports radio show last night, which was great. But we have other topics we can talk about as well. We're going to talk probably a little bit of Last Dance, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear from the people, people power, and we want to hear what you guys think, what you guys want to talk about. We've got about 45 minutes. I think is what we're looking at tonight. So it'll go an hour if we get the people that are talking. Happy belated Kelly Birdsong once again. I will say it because I know Jonathan won't.
Hey man, she's still celebrating, so it's all good.
Did you get her a cake at least?
I got her a gift, yes.
Okay.
I got Kelly a gift.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to get you any more trouble than you probably already are. So
Yep.
We'll leave it at that. First thing, John, baseball. Universal DH. The DH is probably going to go universal for this 2020 season this year. Are you okay with it? I know there was a lot of people talking about and voting if they wanted to go with the universal DH into the future, but with the way the divisions are going to be crossed, the AL East versus the NL East, if this season continues or plays, they're going to use DH rule. I like it. I think they should have done it a long time ago, but some people, your purists, will say, "Well, that's not baseball. National League. It's always having that pitcher bunt, stealing, that whole thing." What's your take on that?
I'm with the purists. So, and this is what I am, man. That's what I am. So if it's a one-time thing, which I know it's not, I'm cool with it. But I'm kind of with the purists, man. Like that's the uniqueness of that particular league that they. Quirkiness about the cheating side. I don't want to get into the negatives of baseball, but they're a very historical league, and they love their history. You know what I mean? They like and they keep their history kind of going with them. So they get rid of that, man. That's gonna be a little different.
Yeah, baseball's Ed Waltersdorf. Also, I'll call him Mr. Ed Waltersdorf. Says way too many games for baseball. I agree, way too many. I think if they do the 80 games, I think that's enough. I think they should even look at it in the future, just going down to the 80 games.
80 games?
Here, John, you don't need 162. I understand why baseball does it because it's that one constant that's there all year, all summer long. You can check in, check out, that one constant during the dead period. But haven't we learned by now that we can all survive a little bit with a little bit of dead period? We're seeing it right now.
With a little bit slow period, yeah. I can see it, man, but
baseball hates it because, as he said, it's all about revenue, and it is. And they ain't gonna do that. All these owners and stuff wanting to take money out of their pockets. No way, not a chance.
I want more teams. What are you talking about? They need to get a team here in Indiana.
They got one already. AAA. They can stick to that.
I'm talking about a Major League Baseball team.
I know, but it's
look, and that, you know what? That's the purists talking about the histrionics, and the histrionics of baseball will not allow a professional baseball team to come to Indianapolis for whatever reason, for the histrionics, because we're in between the Chicago market, the Cincinnati market, and the
St. Louis.
Them too. I'm thinking about the other team in Cleveland as well. So that's the powers to be will not let us have a baseball team. But yeah.
What's your thoughts on the NBA? Yeah, too many teams within 200 miles. They would never bring one here. Yeah, we take away from their revenue during it. Right. John, what's your thoughts? Now, some people, and I will say they've done this already in the past, so it's not a big deal. NBA, NFL, MLB pumping in crowd noise this season, since we won't have any fans in the seats, most likely.
Right. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't be mad at them if they had holograms there. The world kind of went full circle when it comes to hologram technology. So, make a whole big show of it. We got pull Hollywood into it. As far as like,
this ain't WWE.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
WWE, right? Yeah, but I mean, if they can get out there and play some sort of basketball and have some type of, it really wasn't gonna bother me either way. But for the fan that kind of looks forward to that, yeah, sure, pumping the crowd noise.
By the way, Waltersdorf, I gotta know what you think about your Bears. You got Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. Are you really gonna just fold up on Mitch and go straight to Nick Foles? I'll be curious to hear, but Bears are in trouble.
Like I said on the show last night, man, they got a real competitive schedule.
They do,
and they got a defense that can back up their competitive schedule. They starting quarterback. Here's the thing, though, Brandon. The same thing I said about the Colts having to, all the free agents have to play well. Trubisky's got to play well if he wants to go play in Denver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just joking about him playing in Denver, but if he wants to go play somewhere else, because obviously Chicago kind of fell out of love with him. But if he kind of leads them to somewhere in the ballpark of 13-win season, they're gonna have to give him, $35 million a year. They're gonna have to.
They won't.
So,
are they gonna suck legit? Well, I guess they're not gonna suck this year.
Chicago should not suck this year.
They should then go get Sunshine from Clemson.
It would be a challenge for them this year though, because their schedule ain't easy. That's what I'm for sure.
I like my man Mitch has competition. He cannot be complacent if he wants to play. I had no pressure to perform in this contract year. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Mitch does. Bears, yeah, and they were the running game. It was surprising to me they got rid of Jordan Howard last year, and they went to Cohen and David Montgomery. I know Montgomery's good, but I'd give him a year. I mean, he was a rookie, I think, at that point. So,
when I think about that, I mean, this one more. When I think about that division, like they got a locker room problem in Green Bay. Detroit is rebuilding. I don't care. I mean, they got a golden guy.
Green Bay's got a locker room problem.
Man, come on, man. It's all hush right now, man. They got a locker room problem.
Andrew Luck. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Mr. Love.
Yeah,
no love for Love.
It ain't with Love. It's got to be with the coach, and it got to be with the upper management because they didn't pull the rug up underneath me, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? If you're Aaron Rodgers, they kind of pull. Now, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you are hyper competitive as well. So you really you ain't worried about Jordan Love. But you know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers is trying to, they was like one play away from going to so that's the kind of world he's living in. And wouldn't it be a kick in the nods if they get to the Super Bowl or something, or even get to the championship game, and then he tells me he wants to be traded like the next year?
I wouldn't hold it against Aaron Rodgers. I think he would do. I think he's going to. Do you think he will end his career in Green Bay? I do not. I think he will. And call me crazy. Crazy. He might even. I can see him end up being a Ram in the end.
Well, sure. I can see him somewhere out west, Brandon. I'll go down that road with you. I can see him somewhere out west, man. If they're trying to give their quarterback away in Las Vegas. They're trying to give him away. Or they're not. They keep on talking about bringing this guy.
But you know who I think they would do?
What's that?
After this year, I think the Rams would be willing to trade Jared Goff based on that huge contract to Las Vegas, which would then open up a Aaron Rodgers to Los Angeles avenue. I'm telling you, he's Hollywood. You know he is.
He's very Hollywood, and that's kind of would be like the next thing. If Green Bay, again, it's still kind of a head scratcher. You let GMs and coaches do what they want to do and how they want to build teams, but with you being like a possession here or there away from the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? It just didn't make sense for you. In a draft rich, I called it. Pat myself on the back, Barry Horowitz. I called it in a draft rich, full of wide receiver talent. That was crazy, man. That was crazy for them to pick a quarterback. But
yeah.
Right,
I just if I had to sit there and I've been a Nostradamus a few times, most recently with the
Absolutely.
Cam Newton Seattle stuff, which
Absolutely.
by the way, for the Facebook Live people, don't listen to the radio show. Shame on you, but I said it
Uh-oh.
weeks ago that Cam Newton and Seattle would be a perfect fit. And what does ESPN go out and say 2 days ago? Hey, Cam Newton and Seattle, perfect fit. Come on. I've had it weeks before. Anyways, I'm just letting you know, Jared Goff to Las Vegas, not too far. Nice little 2-hour drive or so, whatever, to get there. And then Aaron Rodgers after next season flies across. Insert Los Angeles, Hollywood, him and Danica Patrick.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Love life.
Not be surprised.
So, interesting to see there. By the way, speaking of the Rams, John, let me take my face off of here. Let me make sure I don't screw this up.
Uh-oh.
Because I've been known to screw this up. So, I think it's going to go over our face, which is fine. John, these St. Louis. Oh, sorry, Los Angeles fans.
Disrespectful.
These Los Angeles Rams uniforms have to be one of the worst set of uniforms I have ever seen for a pair of uniforms.
Man, look superheroes. Look, the Avengers.
They do look Avengers, don't they? I mean, the colors. I saw somebody posted it on Twitter, and I wanted to. I started laughing. There are some FUBU shirts for us by us that are the same colors and layout of these Rams uniforms. So, did the Rams knock off FUBU for these uniforms?
They better cut my man a check. If they did.
That's bad.
If they did, man, I had to check that out, man. But if they did, they better cut my man a check.
Yeah.
And look,
I got to find. I should have found that picture and posted it on there, but it was. I saw that. I said, "Oh Lord." All right, John. Let's shift gears for a sec. Yeah, Eric Dickerson said they make him look soft. Absolutely. If you're main guy, John, you're a big Dickerson fan now. Come on.
Eric Dickerson run through a wall. He's a great running back. Highly highly underrated. Play for highly underrated. I just say that.
What would you do if you're a Rams fan and huge Rams fan? You got these new unis. You think they're awesome. All of a sudden, your best player kind of looks at him and says, "They make you look soft."
The Rams, it would take Jay Moore. Grandmaster shout out for him to explain what the situation in St. Louis and or with the Rams in general.
Right.
The Rams. We remember we was calling the team of destiny this 2 years ago, and they just blew all that to hell. Man, the Rams have invested $35 million in Jared Goff, and he can only play 6 games. He's only good for 6 games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, John. Let's shift gears from there. By the way, Marshall Faulk or Eric Dickerson?
Oh, come on, man, Marshall Faulk. Don't let me geek out. Don't let me spaz out on Marshall. Marshall Faulk's highly underrated, man. I wish they never let Peyton Manning run him up out of here. But because that would have been another weapon, like, dude. But like, man, Marshall Faulk, MVP caliber. I don't think Marshall Faulk to me is top 3. And I know somebody's gonna debate me on it and tell me that Emmitt Smith ain't number 1, but guess what? He is. He's my number 1. And then you got Barry Sanders, and then you got Marshall Faulk. Because I get what Jim Brown did 1,000 years ago. I'm not disrespecting the prehistoric age or anything like that. And I know LaDainian Thomas's, his stats is out there or whatever. But Marshall Faulk, dual threat. That was the first dual threat that I remember got killer. I mean, he ain't but 5'10", 5'11". You know what I mean? But yeah, Marshall Faulk over Eric Dickerson every day. Every day.
So can I ask what puts you Emmitt Smith over Barry Sanders?
Same thing to put Michael Jordan over everybody else.
Championships?
Yep. And then somebody come tell me, well, but Jonathan, football is more of a team sport, and that offensive line he played with playmaker over here, and he played 1 year with this guy over, couple years with Dion. I don't care.
Hey, there you go.
It takes stars to win. It takes stars to win the game and win the championships, man. And Emmitt Smith, I get it. He ain't got all that zigzag that Barry Sanders got. And Barry Sanders played with who? I can't remember. Right? I mean, I tell the story how it is, man. But again, Dallas got all the rings, undefeated in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can Tom Brady say that?
Yeah. So Ed's a big Bears fan, but Barry did it all without a fullback. Smith and Walter both had tough fullbacks making their way for him.
Chicago Bears had the best defense they've ever told me. They had the best defense they've ever told me. They said the Chicago Bears defense is better than the Iron Curtain, and I don't want Brandon to hang
Whoa! Let's get it real. It's not the Iron Curtain. Let's give us some respect on the name. It's the Steel Curtain.
Oh, sorry, Steel.
Let's put some respect on the Steel Curtain. All right.
The Iron Curtain's Russia.
You about to piss off all the rest of the Steeler fans.
Hey man, I like those conversations. I like those conversations about the Steelers and the Chicago Bears, though, for real. That's an in-depth, like, who do you go with? Six in one hand, half a dozen the other.
Steelers. Best defense.
Of course you would say that.
Just saying. Count the championships. Let's see. Oh God.
Right.
Where am I at now? I got lost on there.
It's all good.
Now, the one we've already talked about on our radio show, but I will gladly talk about it again. The Last Dance, John. Last Dance, finishing up while you're eating right now and drinking. We'll do what? Shout out Star Wars, apparently. What's your thoughts? Man, you really got people fired up with this Eric Dickerson. So, yeah, Barry had Eric Kramer, Rodney Peete, Andre Ware, Scott Mitchell. Come on. You really getting people fired up on this. Some of them dudes
are all pros, I know.
Oh yeah. Who was it? The Moose? Daryl Johnson, wasn't he Emmett's boy?
Hey, maybe Emmitt Smith made them look better. Has anybody thought about that?
I mean,
Jimmy Johnson traded a Hall of Famer to get Emmitt Smith. Lest we forget. Come on, man. I don't want to tell the story. Dude, Emmitt Smith is the greatest quarterback you ever want to see.
You're still pressing for a 30 for 30 on the Dallas Cowboys. I know you are. You're pressing for it.
I think they needed one like they did the Last Dance, where we get to talk to Playmaker and we get to talk to Troy Aikman and we get to talk to Emmitt Smith and Jimmy Johnson,
Dion,
and then Jerry Jones can obviously put his 3 cents in it.
I don't want to listen to Michael Irvin. I've heard too much of Michael Irvin, especially talking about CeeDee Lamb getting to wear the number 88 and the prestige of the 88 being on the field. And come on, just relax. Just stay in your lane. Anyways, Last Dance. We talked on the radio show last night about episodes 7 and 8. We talked about the Jordan-aire that you got called out on Twitter on Sunday. How about you being the biggest Jordan fan, which last I checked, it was Isaiah and Bird, wasn't they? Your top two guys that you liked back then. You hated Michael Jordan back then.
Well, how could you not? He beat everybody that he said that you wanted to go for. Charles Barkley. You know, I rooted for the Suns. Hey, I know all the whole starting lineup: Kevin Johnson, Danny Ainge. That way he didn't start, but you know, Richard Dumas, Tom Chambers was out there. Michael Jordan whooped their ass. Sorry, pardon my French.
Dan Marlin.
You know, Thunder Dan that's when he set the record for how many threes he shot in the game. Like he shot 7 threes in the game. They still lost. You know, they still lost the series. But like, no, man, there's no way you cannot respect Michael Jordan's what he's done on the court. A lot of times people take what they don't like about that particular and they take it out and make it personal off the court. Mm-hmm. So I got called to stand because somebody said something about social issues about Michael Jordan did or didn't do 30-something years ago, and then try to imply that Michael Jordan hasn't done anything at all. And then, again, all those are I'm a walking talking library, but Wikipedia and Google, you know what I'm saying? You go to certain sites, man, NBA.com. If you go to certain sites, you know, they'll give you the truth. You know, I wouldn't necessarily just jump on YouTube, you know, and listen to anything that's on there without fact checking. But, you know, this show, another one, very, very, very factual. So again, Michael Jordan, what he did or didn't do, you know, 30 years, however many goes, but what happened between him and Craig Hodges or whatever the comments he made about politics or whatever, it's kind of following whatever. And like, but people are trying to, you know, it's over for me. It really is. So I encourage everybody to go listen to last night's show. For sure.
Yeah, last night's show, I kind of let you let loose and call out. And hey, we can't say the other party that we didn't offer him a chance to come on and speak his piece and his platform. We asked him to come on. He didn't choose. He chose not to. So I like the beef. It's a fun beef, debate beef between you two. Like I said, I was sitting on Mother's Day at my mom's house, and next thing you know, my phone is just going nuts about you two. And I'm like, I look at my mom and say, you got to hold on a second. I got something going on. I got to figure it out. But no, Last Dance, like we said last night, I think Michael Jordan, I was in awe of the creativity that he did to himself to make himself ready for a game, whether it be beating George Karl. Oh, he didn't acknowledge me before. All right, that's how we're going to do it. Or it's our dude, I can't think of his name now, who's the LaMichael, whatever his last name was, or LeBradford James or whoever it was.
Oh, no, we're talking about LeBradford Smith.
Yeah, LeBradford Smith, and he lied about that just so he can get at him. He scored the 35 in the first half. And then B.J. Armstrong. It shows you a different mindset as what gets people up, what got him up for these different matches. And like I said, I think, as I told you last night, I deep down think LeBron James is watching this, which he obviously is because he's commented on it on Twitter.
Right.
He's watching this, and he's going to take certain things that he sees from Jordan. He may have already known a lot of this too. Who knows? Certain things or certain ways that Michael Jordan prepares himself. Hey, these last LeBron's on the backside of this train right now. He's only got how many years left, so why not try to take some of these things and see if it can help keep you going like it did Michael those years towards the end. Waltersdorf, you're a big Bulls fan. What's your thoughts so far on this Last Dance? Is it everything you've liked and thought? I mean, he's one of the biggest Bulls fans, I know. So is there everything you've liked and enjoyed? Is there stuff that you feel like was missing? If you're still watching, let me know what you think. But yeah, John, I just think with Michael, it was interesting. And then the way he talked about competition. If you don't want to play my way and you can't deal with it, then I don't want you. That was huge.
Man, he that's what makes him special. Sorry, I had to walk and talk.
Yep.
But that's what I said. That's when it kind of makes him special. And ultra competitive. You know what I'm saying? Knows how to win. Went through a baptism of fire itself. So you can kind of respect that. You might not like it. You might not have it. It's not about how business is conducted today, but that's why I'm in all. That's why I think people are in all of them.
Yeah, they knew most of the story.
You love me or hate them. It's kind of like Ric Flair used to say, "Well, you love me or hate me."
You gotta respect me because he holds up the title. This decides who's on top, and I think he said, "And y'all gotta pay homage to the man, whether you're the Hogans, the Savages." Yeah, so don't get me going on Ric Flair right now. But John, I think we got a problem with the Georgetown Hoyas.
Why? Because they got a transfer. Another guy.
Yeah. So McClung has decided to transfer from Georgetown. Patrick Ewing, and the fact is, this is the fifth player now that's transferred from Georgetown since December. Now I know two of them were out because of disciplinary actions back in December, but now you've got this going on. So is Patrick wearing out his welcome in DC?
You would think that the kind of guys he's recruiting kind of know where he's coming from. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. That's like why can't you get a buy-in from a guy like Patrick Ewing? Anybody, you know what I'm saying? I just that's what I wouldn't understand. If he told me, I know Patrick, you know what I'm saying, he's always seemingly on the butt of a joke of a Reggie Miller late three-pointer or a Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen dunk, right? He seemingly or he's somehow recent basketball has regulated him out of the top 50 of all-time greats. You're gonna have to fact check me on that one on ESPN. But like at one point, I lived in a world where Patrick Ewing was, before Elijah Warren had won his titles, he was the best center not name Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I mean? People considered him better than David Robinson. You know what I mean? People at one point. Again, you know, we know the story of Patrick Ewing. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? But it just seems like you can't get buy-in. And that's what all programs are about anyway. Guys, Brad Stevens said it. Everybody got to be going in the same direction at the same time. Mm-hmm. Meaning basically, you know, buy-in. Matt Painter said some similar things yesterday, as he was kind of answering some, you know, saying his guys leaving his program. Guys also got to have buy-in. Mm-hmm. We got to get wins. We got to get production. And it doesn't matter if this guy over here scores 15 points a game, this guy over here scores 30 points a game. If we don't get to the tournament, it doesn't matter. Or if you ain't defensive player of the year, or if you ain't, you know, something like. So guys all kids got an agenda. They do. All kids, and rightfully so. Agenda is a dream. Why would I tell a kid you couldn't go be a professional basketball player? But here's the thing, kid. The second quote out of all that, and even the coaches tell them, everybody here is not going to make it. But you can have a career in the world of basketball and athletics. Gosh darn it, Brandon. Every time I contact a person that a guest that we have on the show, whether it was Brandon Bradley from Purdue or Mosey Barnes, who's a athletic director at the Tech, or I'm going to keep on shouting out people and not and forget anybody, but whomever that we brought on as guests to our show, Coach Merriweather from Wright State. They always said
Coach Hawkins.
Coach Hawkins, right? They maybe not had the greatest stats, but they made a career. You know what I'm saying? Out of basketball, out of sports, out of athletics, out of being around coaching, out of trying to take, you know what I'm saying, seeing a potential in another youth and engaging them, and then maybe some of them do turn into a professional. And guess what? You have a lifelong relationship. I've seen, man, Coach Barnes, Coach Brantley, every coach that we've ever brought on the show has like lifelong, whether they move from school to school or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at one point, like I said, at one point, everybody had the dream that he is me, kind of like, you know, saying like Mike or whatever. But everybody ain't like, could you see what everybody can't do? What LeBron James can do, Michael Jordan can do, Tim Duncan can do, definitely what Yao Ming and Shaq can do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So again, all those things, I say all that things like joining up with a school like a Purdue, like a, I don't want to talk about Duke right now.
Take it easy on my Dukies.
But like a Purdue, like even Ball State University, that, you know what I'm saying, we have guests on our show. It's like a family. As long as you work the program and do your best and commit, they never forget you. Scott Nichols played for Ball State, you know, 75 years ago. And I'll tease it. But he has great connection with the program. Chandler Thompson, obviously the top 25 on all-time player list, but he has great connections with the program. Bonzi, we already know. Bonzi walking in and out of the program anytime he wants to, man, because you know, they kind of put the program back on the map for that particular era. So there's a lot of things that come with being that family, when you make a family bond with a particular college program. And like when you walk out of one, that's not necessarily another program to take you, but they're not taking you for what they kind of taking you for what they think you can do, maybe, and make us look good. Because I'll be honest with you, I just thought, again, I'm not hypercritical on kids basketball games, because again, they're gonna make mistakes. They gotta learn. You know what I mean? And like I said, everybody. So I'm talking about the Eastern situation, right? Him leaving. I just assumed that he was gonna go to a mid-major and try to ball out. Yeah. I mean, he didn't went to Michigan, dude. You basically went even, because they got guys either already there at the program or already getting ready to come in. Because Juwan Howard didn't recruit no chumps. He didn't recruit nobody from the mid. You know what I'm saying? That they couldn't play at Michigan. So you know what I'm saying. So again, maybe they told him a little bit better story and hugged him up. Because I thought Matt Painter's it was fair. It sounded like a coach.
Yeah, I'm so shocked
it sounded like a good buddy saying, "Hey, man, you know what? You got potential to play maybe somewhere, but if you think you're gonna play in the NBA, they're not gonna call you tomorrow, or whenever the draft gets turned on, they're not gonna call you." So go ahead, Brandon.
Maybe it's the trade. Maybe it's the player to be named later in this whole trade for college basketball. Spike Albright, he went from Michigan to Purdue for his grad year. and then now Purdue's sending Nojel Eastern. No, I don't
That's
understand.
a little different.
I
That's
don't
the guy.
Yeah, exactly. It is wholly different. But Nojel Eastern, you said it. You hit the nail on the head. Does he think Michigan's not getting top recruits? Juwan Howard's not out getting these players. What's he going to go out and do? Score another 3 points and 4 rebounds? I don't want to badmouth him or anything, but
Right.
he was very nice and cordial when I was at Purdue for a lot of games to talk to him. But and I think that's why Painter. I think Painter knew yesterday maybe where he was going to go. And that's why it kind of was abrasive. Like, I don't understand why he's going there. Like, you're mid-major. We talked about yesterday. It was going to be a mid-major most likely, or somewhere on the East Coast or something like that. There you go. But when you just shit, he should just went to Northwestern. He would have been better
You have
off.
to put in. I'm not saying this is the kid what the kid
He's
did,
from
but
Chicago.
If you are not a top 30 guy identified in high school, right? And you are, and some of those rankings, people are gonna tell you they don't matter, but they do. When they give you a 5-star, that means you're pretty darn good. You know what I mean? And if agents are knocking on your door, and college is knocking on your door, you know what I mean? That means you're pretty darn good. But if only college is knocking on your door, you got to work for it. You got to work at it. And again, you even though you work on your body. Sure, you work on your game, free throws, 180 free throws after a game, right? Whatever it takes, man. And you still, this might be a 9-point score, 10-point score, you know what I mean? But darn, man, if you win the Big Ten, you'll have more eyes on you if you win the Big Ten, whether it's the NBA scout, whether it's a scout that's gonna pull you overseas, whether the scout is there's other leagues. That's the crazy. There's other leagues that I follow on Instagram. They pay, they pay $75,000 to $25,000. Some of them not that much, right? But they're professional leagues. They pay upwards of $75,000 a year for a 13, 16 game season. Big. I know somebody gonna laugh. Big three, but eventually, Big Three is not going to just be old retired NBA players. They're trying to grow their game. So there's going to be basketball. We're already basketball out the wazoo, right? But nobody's checking for anybody that's averaging 4 points a game. Not on that level, and not definitely somebody who transferred and couldn't handle criticism. After 2 years, the first year couldn't handle criticism. That's not how the NBA works.
Okay. Yeah, and I meant to send that to you earlier today. I just totally slipped on it. I was too busy going out and enjoying the day, and then it stormed, and I got back just in time for the bike ride up here in Westfield and passed out for a bit. But yeah, I don't understand the transfer, and maybe he'll talk about it. Now, I think, John, though, he's got to sit out a year.
He does. I think Harms can play.
Harms can play, yes. I think Eastern's got to sit out, but I can't wait for that Purdue-Michigan game now. 2 years to circle up on that calendar. It will be something. Yeah. As Tanner said, Dennis Rodman has got a better jumper than Eastern. Yeah. I mean, think about it. John, this man, he's put his name in the NBA draft twice, pulled out, okay? Told him, hey, you got to get better. John, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't his stats digress last year?
So freshman year, they looked like a freshman year. They found, I think he averaged maybe to like 14 minutes a game his freshman year. You know how hard it is to find 14. Like, I don't think Ty Leary averaged 14 minutes a game until he hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? During the Final Four, to try to get IU tied up. Like, I don't know if Bob Knight really wanted it. He was sitting so far on the bench, but that's what it takes. You gotta have production.
Right.
And again, when you look at the tape, it's the production ain't on defensively. Like the dude does play defense. The kid does rebound. But again, what's the name of the game? We're playing basketball, aren't we? You gotta score. You gotta score. And
especially in the NBA.
Say what now?
Especially in the NBA. You gotta be.
You gotta score. You gotta score. They're already cracked. There's some scouts from around the league, unnamed scouts. There's a report came out on NBC. I'm gonna give the credit where it's due. This said that Boston Celtics had a horrible draft because Romeo Langford can't shoot. You know what I mean? So again, at least when I think about comparatively, Romeo Langford was still Big Ten Freshman of the Year. So, and I know there's a whole lot of we can talk about Romeo Lanford and mommies and daddies and that type of he's too coddled. But remember, if NBA is saying, "Hey, $5 million, here's a $5 million check," and I just told you, and as you just said, you got to do something to get on the radar. Romeo Lanford got on the radar. You know what I'm saying? He did what he accomplished. Now, Archie had to answer for that because that's not how Calipari does it. Calipari has like these 5 guys that play in NBA, and then they get to the Final Four, and you got you one, and he kind of took a dive on you. He kind of dipped on you. But my point is, you got to have eyes on you. Freshman of the year, Big Ten Player of the Year, ACC Player of the Year, what have you. Otherwise, nobody gonna take no shot on you. Nobody. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I agree. Very shocking with Eastern. Kind of laughable when I did see it. I was shocked like no other with it. So, John, I want to know your thoughts. They were talking about this on NBA The Jump today. What NBA player reminds you the most of Scottie Pippen right now in today's game? The 2 names that were brought up the most by the panel of 3 to 4 people was Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. And then some idiot decides to come on there, Zach Lowe, and says, well, I think it's more if you take Paul George, take away his 3-point shooting, and add Draymond Green and his intensity level. And Richard Jefferson had to put him in check for a minute, like, whoa, hold on. You talk Draymond Green, which there's still beef there from the NBA Finals of them.
Okay.
But and then a majority of them thought it was more of a Kawhi Leonard, a younger Kawhi, compared to Scottie than a Paul George. So what NBA player reminds you the most of a Scottie Pippen? Kind of what we've seen so far.
Scottie Pippen is nice offensively, and I think actually Scottie Pippen actually finishes at the rim a little bit better than Kawhi Leonard. Defensively, they about even. But like
Paul George can't play defense. Last I checked, he gave up 37, 42. He couldn't even check LeBron James.
Paul forgot how to play defense. I think that's what Larry Bird demanded of him, and that's defense. What happened. Paul George used to play that, man, dude. I almost had to check you, Brandon. Paul George used to play defense, but now, like the last couple of years, now not that guy.
Coach Hawkins says Paul George.
Look, he got the body type of Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons has his body type. Ben Simmons can't shoot like Scottie Pippen, but they got the same kind of body type, same kind of. That's who I would say, but he can't shoot like Ben. He can't shoot. I'm not saying Scottie Pippen was a volume shooter like Larry Bird or anything like that either, but Ben Simmons and him got some eerily similar type of game.
Simmons got what, 4 inches on him? When Scottie, or 3 inches? Was Scottie's what, 6'9"?
Scottie Pippen goes 6'8", 6'9". Ben Simmons ain't 7 foot, is he?
I thought he was 6'11". Damn near. I think it said 6'11", 7 foot for Ben Simmons. Hey, all our people would like to prove us wrong and stuff. Go ahead and put in the comments Ben Simmons' height. I think it's 6'11". I think I kept hearing NBA on the ESPN because every damn Philadelphia 76ers game is on there. Oh, shut up. He ain't 6'7". Penrod, there ain't no way Ben Simmons is 6'7".
I think Ben Simmons is like 6'10", man. I'm not trying to be wrong.
Are we cutting hairs here? One inch?
I think he's like 6'10" for real.
6'10", 230.
But him and Scottie Pippen got some really similar type of game. Like that's who I would compare it to.
Yeah. What's do you? And speaking of Ben Simmons, I guess. Speaking of Ben Simmons, what level more does he have? I guess in him. Like I don't think he's going to finish with the Sixers. I think he'll end up being in a trade because the Sixers are going to have to cut tires. And there was drama already there. They'll probably keep Embiid and get rid of Simmons. But if you're an NBA GM, are you going to kick the tires on Ben Simmons, knowing that he doesn't have a jump shot whatsoever?
Yeah, because he's young and he is explosive. If he ever learned how to post, you know what I'm saying? He'd be. Brandon, I think you might got it wrong, bro. I think they kicked the tires on Joel Embiid.
You think they get rid of Embiid?
Part-time player. part-time lover. You know what I'm saying?
What's he gonna do? Go out to LA?
What my homie gonna do down? Riles got to pull off one more big run. Maybe get some of that, get some of that rub out of Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would take, like asset wise, like what they would have to send. I don't know, like, because I kind of wanted Joel Embiid to be with some of the pieces I already got, Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. But I don't know. Here's the thing: did Jimmy Butler have a problem with Ben Simmons, or did he have a problem with Joel Embiid when he was there? Who do you really have a problem with, or did he kind of know he was just kind of there for a transitional period to get out of Minnesota? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think Ben Simmons is the younger player. That's why I think they kind of work with that.
Do you know who's disappointed me from that 76ers team? Al Horford. How do you go from being an all-star, averaging 16 and 9 or whatever, to now just being an afterthought off the bench in Philly?
Yeah.
It had to be the money, because he had to know he going to Philly. He wasn't going to be a focal point like he was in Boston.
Right. It was the money. I think their last year's problem. I think there was some locker room problems. Amongst, like I said.
Well, that guy's gone. The cancer of that team is gone with Kyrie.
Well, he might have was back to Kyrie.
Apparently.
I don't know why.
NBA's talking. Oh, here we go. Well, real quick before we go to the NBA, my boy Doug. What do we think of the Lions' schedule this year? Looks like another tough one for my guys.
Hey man, you want a tough one. The Lions, dude. You want a tough one because you want some of that Ohio State defense that's getting ready to come up out of Ohio State. Like they probably would have came out this year, but the rules of the NFL. But they got some more corners in Ohio State. They got some more defensive backs that once this thing gets trying to turn back on, you got to. I know I pronounced his name wrong. There's some other cats that you kind of want, that everybody kind of wants to kind of salivating out next year, like if this kid's gonna come out or not. I don't know if the Detroit Lions will be bad enough to get sunshine. I do not know that, but because I think Jaguars are gonna be the worst, right? The Detroit Lions might be bad enough to get, like I said, the Ohio State quarterback. They might be bad enough to get him because he probably won't. The kid, he probably won't be first or second, but he probably be fourth or fifth. You know what I'm saying? As I think everybody, he probably gonna come out for sure. But like I said, there's a lot of great defensive backs coming out next year. And like I said, if you need a quarterback, which I don't necessarily think Detroit needs, they're not going to break apart. They're not going to break, divorce Stafford unless they get one of these two quarterbacks, right? But they do got a tough schedule. They did not pity the Detroit Lions this year.
I just went through the schedule.
They got the Bears the first game.
I just went through the schedule, eyeballed it. I've got them 5-11.
Yeah, that ain't good. That's not good.
I think you can split with Chicago. I think you get. I don't think you beat Minnesota, and I don't think you beat Green Bay.
Yeah, as far as the conference, yeah.
Yeah, well, the division. Yeah, the division. I'm just thinking. Looking at those games there, I think you easily split with Chicago.
Woo.
But
man, you gonna have the phone burning up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna piss some people off with this Bears talk tonight. But yeah, Doug, I think 5-11 is where I've got Detroit. We'll see. I had the Colts at 11-5 this year. I had the Steelers at 11-5. Yeah, they did beat Green Bay twice last year. I guess they did with Detroit, but there was a feeling out period for Green Bay with Mr. Matt Flynn and Flynn and
Aaron Rodgers.
And Rodgers. So
Aaron Rodgers is pissed this year.
Yeah, absolutely. John, you got any last things, my man? We went 46 minutes tonight. Not too bad. We wanted to get back on here. Our Facebook Live team, people have missed this.
Yeah, man, it's all good. It's almost kind of like a recap of what we did last night. I encourage anybody everybody, if you dug this, like you kind of dig like me and Brandon, not just last night, any other night. Like I said, we had great guests, either local or even national. You know what I'm saying? Kind of come on the show and guest and talk with us, talk hoops, talk football, talk life. You know what I'm saying?
We just had NBA official Tyler Ford on recently.
Yeah, amen. We just had NBA. We sure did. So I encourage everybody, to check us out. If you like sports, we're not a slant or we're not sensationalism. Basically, with fact, check us out. If this is your first time, but anybody else, I thank you for supporting. Keep on listening. Keep on watching.
Right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.